And a very good evening to you. You're watching the news in English from the Cyprus Broadcasting Corporation. I'm Nathan Morley in Nicosia with tonight's top stories. And we begin with our lead. The Greek Prime Minister Antonis Samaras has put the issue of the return of Famagusta to the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon during a meeting in New York. Following the 45-minute talk, Samaras said that he conveyed Greek positions on all issues of concern to the country, including the Cyprus problem and Skopje. The Greek Prime Minister had discussed Cyprus during his meeting with President Obama, with the American president expressing optimism that a solution can be found to the problem. Police fired plastic bullets and water cannon at rioters in the heart of Belfast last night after being pelted by missiles for a second successive night. Bricks, bottles and fireworks rained down on riot police when they moved in to try and clear the city's main thoroughfare to enable a parade by the nationalist side of the community to go past. Police said 2 officers were injured. 8 were hurt the previous night when a crowd threw paint bombs and bottles at police. A 1998 peace and power-sharing deal largely ended decades of strife in the British province, but Belfast remains divided between pro-British Protestants and Catholics who generally continue to favour unification with Ireland. The violence began on Thursday night and focused on a bonfire in the Divis Street area where British police said they came under attack. There were 8 arrests for public order offences. Police did not specify what triggered the violence, though. In another area of Belfast on Thursday, a man attacked police with a sword and officers fired 2 plastic bullets in response. US and Russian officials agreed on the need to convene a long-delayed Syrian peace conference in Geneva as soon as possible. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told reporters after 5 hours of meetings in Washington that officials from the 2 countries will meet again by the end of the month to prepare for the Syria talks. He said much of his meeting with the US Secretary of State John Kerry was devoted to Syria, and both men agreed they needed to convene a so-called Geneva II conference as soon as possible. Asked whether this conference would in fact ever happen, Mr. Lavrov said that Russia already had won the agreement of its ally, the Syrian government, to send a delegation to Geneva without preconditions. Moscow and Washington have been trying since May to organise an international peace conference to bring an end to the violence in Syria, which has killed more than 100,000 people in 2 years. Battlefield gains by Assad have added to questions about when and whether it will ever take place. The Spanish Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, threatened unilateral measures in a spat with Gibraltar over fisheries, although he also said he hoped for talks with Britain about the territory. Tensions over Gibraltar, which is a British overseas territory to which Spain still lays claim, flared up this month after Spain complained that an artificial reef being built by Gibraltar would block its fishing vessels. He said, "I hope that this doesn't go any further, but it's clear that Spain has to defend its national interest, and that's what we're going to do." Among the other measures under consideration were a €50 fee for people entering or exiting Gibraltar, tax investigations into locals who have property in Spain, and restrictions on the use of Spanish airspace for flights heading to Gibraltar. It was not clear whether Spain would charge workers who cross into Gibraltar daily, which could cost them up to €500 a week, or only to tourists. The recent war of words over Gibraltar has been more heated than similar tiffs in the past. Opposition politicians have accused Rajoy of using the situation to distract Spaniards from the country's severe recession. National Guard Sergeant Miria Papasokratos, a 40-year-old from Paphos, was found early this morning after missing for more than 5 days. The woman showed up at Paphos police station and said in her testimony that she'd been living at a friend's house in a suburb of Nicosia. She said she had left home for both personal and professional reasons without elaborating. She was reported missing by her brother on Tuesday. And that's it for the news. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast, when we can expect fine skies to start with, but later in the day, isolated showers and storms are expected, mainly inland and over the mountains. Winds will be southwesterly to northwesterly, initially light, force 3, and later light to moderate, force 3 to 4, and strong force 5 in southern and western coastal regions. Seas will remain slight though. Temperatures will reach 36 degrees Celsius inland, 34 in eastern coastal regions, 33 in southern coastal regions, 31 in western and northern coastal regions, and 30 degrees over the mountains. And a quick reminder that the fire hazard remains extremely high in all forest areas. And that's it from the CYBC News team. We're back at the same time on this channel tomorrow. From us all here, good night.